Welcome. You are listening to The Travel Winds, hosted by Pete Kotzbach. This is a weekly interview show about people who travel for work and all the ups and downs that go along with it. Each episode includes a variety of discussions with athletes, business people, musicians, influencers, entertainers, and even regular folks from around the world. Thanks for listening. Here we go.
Welcome to the show. Today, my guest is Britt Lightning, a overnight success story with a few years of behind her. As you can tell, if you're watching on the video, she's a guitarist, and she's just showing off her collection behind us. So now everyone's going to want to watch the YouTube. How are you today, Britt?
Hi, I'm great. Thanks for having me. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm excited. I caught you in between, so.
You caught me at the perfect time. My one weekend off, my one weekend home to chill.
That's the way to be persistent, right? It's like you're like, hey, you want to do it this weekend? I'm like, yes.
I know. I was like, I have today available. Let's go.
Perfect. So you're playing with Vixen, which is the 80s hair band kind of rock all girl group, and it's interesting that you've played with a lot of the ex-members, and some have gone now. But you're still playing. You got Roxy on the drum. I was shocked. I'll be honest. So I'm doing a little research. I'm like, Lorraine Lewis. Why do I know that name? And I'm like, oh my God, Femme Fatale. I was like, you're kidding me.
Yeah. She's such a badass. Love
yeah,
her.
exactly. So are you still enjoying the traveling?
Oh, yes. I mean, the line is, we don't get paid to play music. We get paid to travel, because that's what we're doing most of the time. I mean, for the small time that we're on stage, the travel can be like 24 hours to get to where we're going, So you have to love travel to do this job, I strongly feel. And I love it. I love traveling. I love going to new cities, meeting new people, trying new food. It's kind of an addiction.
You can, not that you should, but if you listen to my past episodes, you'll hear me say, for my day job, I always tell people I travel for work and I do meetings in between.
Right.
That's the half-hour meeting I do with the 6-hour drive. I mean, I did 5.5 hours of driving yesterday.
Wow.
For not a lot of money, but you do what you do.
It is what it is. Hey, anything's better than a desk job, if you ask me.
Oh, you ain't kidding.
I will travel all day, every day, planes, trains, and automobiles. I don't care. As long as I'm not sitting at a desk all day.
Do you think, I always tell people, like, there are people that are desk people, and then there's people that cannot be desk people.
I cannot. I tried it a couple times.
Yeah.
It was a good experience. It was a good learning experience about myself, learning what I cannot handle.
Yeah.
In fact, my last desk job, I would call my mom on the way home and just bitch and complain about it. And I was in the music industry, so it was a good job, and I enjoyed the content, but I just couldn't be stuck like in a routine like that. I don't know.
Every day.
You just can't do it. And then I would be exhausted by the time I got home with LA traffic, both directions. And then I didn't have the energy to play guitar, which is obviously what I love to do, and jam and do things musically and creatively when I got home. And I called my mom one day, and finally she was like, you know what, Britt? Do me a favor. I'm so sick. Don't call me again until it's to tell me that you've quit. Because this is you're not this like unhappy person. And
this is not working.
Yep.
No, I'm with you on that one. Because I've done the same thing. Like, I've been outside sales, and then you get an offer for a manager, and you're like, oh, okay, more steady income, this and that, and then you get inside, you're like, oh,
yeah. What did I do?
It's not why am I doing this?
Money doesn't, make you happy. That's all I know.
I was joking about the overnight success, because I'm sure people see that. But how long have you been in a band? Since the Jaded days?
Oh man, I started playing in a band when I was 16. And started in bars and clubs. Yeah, 16.
And you got to be at least like 19, 20 now. So I mean.
I can't wait till next year when I can finally drink legally.
Exactly. Go back. I'm going to get a little flustered. I watched. Jaded was a really good band.
Oh, thanks.
Like, because I remember I listened to some interviews about you, and you're like, oh, we met in high school, that type of thing. And I'm like, all right, not a lot of good high school bands, right? But Gear in the Machine's a really good song.
Oh, thanks. That's a blast from the past. I forgot about that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
But
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good band. I still keep in touch with everybody. It was, yeah, good people.
what you made my heart flutter when I saw the GTO. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's just a video car, because that's what a lot of people do. And
Right.
then you just posted the same car. So I'm like, now I'm a little jealous here.
Oh, yeah, that's my baby. Yes.
The
Yes.
66 goat convertible. Come on.
You got it. Yeah. Yep. Yep. That was yeah. I've had that for a long time. I've had that for since that video, since probably a year before that video, maybe I've had it. So
That's great. My first car was a 62 Ford convertible. So I'm a 60s convertible guy. So I was like, I love that car. And all of a sudden I saw you repost. I'm like, oh my God, that's her car.
It is. Yep. My pride and joy. She still runs great.
So we'll see that video view count go up now, because people are gonna be like, what?
Yeah, right. Thank you.
Yeah. And then Demi Lovato, Alejandro Sanz, you've done stadium tours. I mean, you've played from the Viper Room. Where have you not played yet? How's that? Is there any place you'd like to play?
Madison Square Garden.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah,
That's it.
Boston girl, you got to. I was gonna ask you if you'd played there yet.
Nope. I've played some baseball stadiums and some big football stadiums, but never Madison Square Garden. So that's on the list.
Have you played Red Rocks?
No, actually, that's another one.
Yeah.
And the other thing I haven't done that I really want to do is like play for the troops, do some kind of like USO tour or something along those lines. I haven't done that yet either. Those are yeah.
And then it's just a matter of scheduling, right?
Yeah. Booking. Yeah.
Because you got, yeah. Oh yeah. But you have, I just looked up, you already have stuff scheduled for next year already.
We do. Yeah. Yeah. We have a lot that is not posted yet that we can't announce yet. So
yeah,
we have a busy year coming up. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
A busy spring, summer just now. So it was really great. This weekend I have off, and then we're getting back into it strong in October. So yeah, we've got like the Kiss Cruise coming up, which is going to be a blast.
Yeah.
A couple of shows. We're playing in Las Vegas, which is fun, on Fremont Street. I've actually never played there before, so that'll be fun.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's as a musician, do you sit there and as a band, do you guys go, hey, let's try and get here, or let's not do this, or I don't want to say really. Miami or whatever, but whatever.
Not really. We give it to our booking agent. He does a great job. He just kind of does what he thinks is best for us. And it's very unusual that we have a bad experience somewhere. And in that case, we would say we never want to play there again, but that hardly ever happens. We have great gigs.
How are the cruises?
Oh, they're so fun. It's like a big reunion. It's like you kind of know everybody on there, because it's like, well, at least the Monsters of Rock cruise. That's the one that we usually do. We've actually never done the Kiss Cruise, but it's all the same people you see at
Warren Dockett,
and it's kind of like everybody's there. It's a big hang, and it's a blast, and we play, but then it's also kind of like a vacation, so it's good.
Because I went on a rockabilly cruise, and there was a couple of rockabilly bands, and so, but it was a little different because they started like at midnight or 11. Because but so it was like till 3 or 4 in the morning, but you want to wake up and experience it, but it's like,
oh no, I wouldn't like that schedule at all. I like to play early. Yeah, no, I'm an early riser, so that doesn't sound good to me.
Is it weird? Because you're in an enclosed environment, right? So like you have to travel, you have to walk around the ship and eat food with all the other people and all the fans.
They have artist dining. They have a special. Yeah, so that's kind of good. And I do a lot of hanging out on my balcony. A lot of room service.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Because I saw some of the band guys from the rockabilly. They're not as famous as all the rock bands, but still, you're like walking around. You're like, oh, hey, Mondo, hey, what's up?
Well, that's what's pretty cool about that environment, though, because you do just run into people.
Yeah. They're all pretty cool, right?
I'll be at yeah, and it's fun. I love meeting people. I love meeting fans, and half of them become friends because they're just music enthusiasts like I am.
Yeah. So, what other crazy situations have you been at? You've been at festivals. You've had, like I said, you had the stadium tours. What's been the most influential city you've been to?
Ooh. That's a good question. When I was with Alejandro, we were in Spain for a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And I just loved, we spent a lot of time in Madrid because we stayed there for a while. We rehearsed there. So I kind of fell in love with Madrid and also the south of Spain. Yeah, that might have been my favorite. I've learned to speak Spanish, and I cook a bunch of Spanish food now from that. I fell in love with that food. So yeah, that may have been a big influence for me.
So
I
I'm gonna
learned
have to go
to dance, you know, all the things. Not very good at it at all, but
but you tried.
yeah, exactly.
You know, Steve Stevens is there right now with Billy Idol.
Oh, I love
and he's posting a lot of photos from Madrid and all that. It looks pretty cool.
Oh, it's the best. I love it there. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to. That'll be on the list.
Yeah, definitely add it to your list.
Have you been to Japan?
No, I think we're going next year though.
Okay.
Yeah. Japan and Australia. Haven't been to either, but we're supposed to do that, I think, in March. So that'll be fun.
Yeah. From what I've heard, Japan, a lot of the artists really love going to Japan.
Yes, I'm very excited. And I'm a huge sushi fan. So
there you go. How was COVID for you? I mean, and for the band, I mean.
Yeah, for the band, it was not good. We didn't play at all. And actually, I remember the day that it blew up on the news because I had a flight that day for a gig with Vixen. We were flying to Texas. No, we had a gig in Texas, but first we had a gig in Albuquerque or something. Somewhere in New Mexico, something like that. Anyways, and I wake up that morning and I see on the news, nobody fly, wear masks, this thing is gonna kill everybody. And I'm like, I call our manager, I'm like, hi, what do I do about the flight that I'm about to get on? What's going on? And he was like, you know, so it was crazy. So I remember that day clearly. And we actually ended up flying to the gig, but the gig did not happen. We were shut down Queensryche that night. And so we just hung out and drank with Queensryche and then got back on the flight the next morning overnight, had a party night and came right back, and then never left my house again for, you know, the longest time I've ever been home. That was the longest time I've been in one place, which for travel addicts like us, people that are so used to it, it's so difficult. So that was insane. That was crazy. Yeah. I was living in West Hollywood at the time, and it just got weird. It was
I mean, I always tell people, it's like I traveled, you know, I think I was on the road like 160 to 180 days, you know, pre-COVID. And so it was like, because that's how I make money. I mean, if I'm not on the road, I'm not making money. That's kind of my mentality. So all of a sudden it's like, okay, 2 weeks. Yeah, I could just shut it down for 2 weeks. You know, flatten the curve, whatever. That's cool. 4 weeks, 6 weeks. It's like,
yeah, I never thought it would go that long.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just crazy. Thank God it's finally coming to a close. I mean, it's, I don't know. It totally nuts. Yeah. But at the same time, I had all these like grand plans. I was like, I'm going to record a solo album and this is great. I finally have downtime. I was like, I can finally get stuff done. But I didn't do any of that because I ended up working hard with Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp. David Fishoff, the founder, myself were like, we got to connect fans to artists. And so we started doing this online masterclass series over Zoom like this. And I did over 160 classes, you know, hosting these classes where we get artists from like Roger Daltrey of The Who to Alice Cooper to managers like Shep Gordon, all these great people. Steve Stevens did some awesome guitar players, all musicians. And it was really, that got me through COVID.
That sucked you up. Yeah. Cause I'm actually waiting to hear back from David to have him on the show.
Oh, well.
So I've already reached out and I was like,
I'll pass that on.
I was telling you, it's a small world. I mean, because I have a PR friend that reached out to him, and so we kind of connected. And now I've been on the road working for the last couple of weeks. That's why I'm doing Saturday. I'm like, oh, it's perfect. So I'm on the road Monday through Friday next week.
Okay, good. Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, Saturday's perfect.
Yeah.
But you know, that's it. How did the rest of the band do through COVID?
I mean, everybody I didn't see anybody. We all live in different states. So, you know, we tried to kind of connect in Zoom, right? And it didn't really happen. So, you know, everybody survived. That's all I know. We're all still here.
And everyone's happy to be back on the road.
Yeah. And thank God, knock on wood, I never got COVID. So, stayed pretty healthy.
Yeah.
And, and then when we started coming back, and I remember doing our first meet and greet back, and it was like, ooh, this is
am I supposed to? Yeah, it's like,
it's kind of sketchy because they condition you to like think like, oh my God, I can't get near anybody ever again, and it takes a minute to kind of get over that and be like, no, it's going to be okay. Like,
That was a lot of fist bumps.
yeah,
A lot
I
of
like
fist
that
bumps at the
part. I
meeting.
still do that now.
Yeah. So do
I
I.
don't like when people, I got to say, as a guitar player, people know I'm a guitar player, and I can't tell you how many people shake my hand
Squeeze.
so hard. And I'm like, what the hell? Why would you do that?
I need this.
Yeah. And it'll hurt like all day. And I'm like, what was that about? So I'm all about the fist bump.
So I like asking this question because I don't think about, like, the only thing I need for my job is my voice,
Mhm.
right? Because I just have to be able to talk.
Mhm.
But you, like, you have your hands. So do you get freaked out with, you got to be careful with the moneymaker,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I do. I like, but it's mostly, that's really the only thing that is an issue. And then sometimes I like to cook. So if I am chopping something in a hurry, I have cut my fingers so many times
Yeah.
right before gigs. And, I'm a righty, so I chop with my right and I'm holding the thing with my left, and that's the fretting hand. So that's been an issue, but those are my two issues: handshakes and chopping.
I'm with you. Because I just need to be able to drive, I guess, too,
Yeah.
So my wife's like, don't hurt your right foot,
Right.
for the gas pedal and the brake. And you're good.
Yeah. But I'm lucky I don't need I do sing, but I would never want to be a singer, because it's
I
like,
know.
a lead singer. I like singing. It's not that I'm not a singer, but but to have to belt out every night and take care of your voice when you're on no sleep and bad diet, and just that's hard to maintain when your body is your instrument like that. So I'm glad I play guitar.
I was gonna say, because I've asked some of the singers that too, like, you have to be careful. You can't, and
Yeah, you
I
can't talk much before a gig. Can't go. I just like to go out and do whatever I want to do, and if I want to drink or
Yeah.
something, and not worry. Like, so that would be rough. Yeah.
I asked my second guest, who's a country singer, Cowboy Troy, and I said, hey, what should I do before my show? Before I start talking, he's like, warm water, just
Tea, lozenges.
yeah, and he's just
Well,
like, just relax and do some vocal exercise. And I'm like, dude, I'm not doing that.
no, I was like, no.
I'm just yapping with somebody. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not singing in front of 40,000 people.
Yeah, Lorraine does that. She won't talk before the gigs and stuff. It's really annoying. I have to text her when she's right next to me. Yeah.
You got to get some sign language down.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you travel, you've been traveling a lot over the couple decades now. How do you stay in shape? And like, what's the diet like when you're on the road?
Diet is not good when I'm on the road. It is not good. It's like, as soon as I get home, it's like, oh crap, now I gotta like flush all that out and try to eat
Exactly.
a small amount of time that I am home and can buy organic groceries and things like that. It's hard. It's really hard. Well, I love to exercise. So when I have to fly all day and I, get up at 4 a.m. and I don't arrive till, 2 a.m. the next day, or if it's a crazy deal, I hate that I can't exercise and move because I don't like sitting that much. So I'm the kind of person that does get up and stand and stretch on the plane because I'm just nuts. But yeah, when we're in hotels and stuff, I try to work out every morning. Or do hotel room workouts. My motto is sweat every day. I have to sweat every day. In some shape or form. And if I'm in a new city, I love just walking. I will walk the entire city before sound check.
That's what I was going to ask you too, is do you get to go around and see?
If you get up early, you do. And I learned that real fast. My first European tour, I was like, I'm not missing this because I don't know when I'm going to be back. You just never know. Right. So I do. I wake up way early. I'll be like the one that gets on the bus at the end of the day and be like, this is what I saw this. And I said this, and it's all these museums, and I'll go to my phone, all the pictures. And they're like, really? I just got coffee in the lobby. Like,
I'm with you. I do the same thing. I try, for me, because I'm a single person when I travel, I always try and book in a half a day. Like I was just in Dallas a few weeks ago, and I'm like, I could have came home Friday night, but I came home Saturday afternoon, and then I went and saw where JFK got shot. I went to the 6th Street Museum. I went where they filmed Dallas.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's so fun. Yeah, my routine is wake up, do a quick workout, find some coffee, but not coffee anymore. Now it's tea, matcha, but I travel with it. we'll talk about that later. And then, yeah, find a great local restaurant. Love eating local food, whatever it is. And then I always try to find a local guitar shop to check out.
Oh, nice.
And then if there's an aviation museum anywhere near, I will go because I love old planes.
Oh,
so
dude.
I'm really into that. So that's kind of my like routine. And if not that, I'll find like an art museum or just like, or shopping. There's always shopping. I don't know. I'm always doing something.
I'm with you on the airplanes because I travel up and down the coast. And so like you get to some of the smaller airports and they have some museums.
Yeah.
And then March Air Force Base out in the Empire's got a huge, cool base.
Yeah.
I like planes too. So.
Yeah. Well, thank God we do because we fly a lot.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being afraid of flying and having to do all the travel that we do?
I've talked to a few of them.
Yeah.
On my show. So
yeah.
I've had some musicians that hate flying.
You know, I went through a phase where I got nervous I don't know what happened. I've flown my whole life. And for some reason, all of a sudden I had this fear of flying. And anytime I would kind of fall asleep on the plane, I'd wake up and think we were going down. And I was just like, my heart would be, and I'd be like, oh my God, I have to calm down.
Yeah.
And I was like drinking before flying all the time. And then that wasn't really a good routine. So I was like, I gotta get over this.
I actually interviewed, he's a pilot for the Israeli. He was an Israeli military pilot. Now he's a commercial pilot, but he came up with an app to help people that have a fear of flying. And it walks them through and you can actually talk to pilots. Like if you're like nervous, you can actually have an app on your phone that you can actually communicate with a pilot.
Be like, I'm hearing this noise. What is it? And,
yes. Yeah.
And explain it well. That's very cool.
Yeah, it's pretty different.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because it's tough. We toured with the band. I'm not going to mention any names, but there was one player that is really deathly afraid of flying. And so would get so drunk before every flight, like they had to like carry him on and they had to prop him up. So he looked alert enough for them to let them on the plane, you know? And so it was like, that was like a daily thing. It was crazy.
My wife's pretty bad. She doesn't fly a lot. So, but yeah, she was, you know, what bummed her out, but during COVID, when we would fly, they stopped serving alcohol on the planes.
Yeah, I know. That was
my wife's like, so I got to get drunk before I get on the plane.
Right. Yeah. I know. Yeah.
And that's when you find out that the bars aren't open on early morning flights. Because she's like, oh my God, I need to.
A lot of people don't know you can bring those minis.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they say you can't bring one on a plane, but you know, they go through security in your carry-on. So
exactly.
Yeah.
I've seen so many. What's the craziest thing you've seen go through security or at an airport? Is there anything crazy? I just saw a guy come off the plane with a Great Dane, a full-size Great Dane.
Wow.
Service dog. And I'm like, the dog was bigger than him. I'm like, you should put a service person on your. I was like, it's not a lap dog. I mean, how many seats do you have to buy?
Not. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's crazy.
I was like, I just saw that. I was like, you don't see that too often.
No.
Little dog's one thing.
Yeah.
So let's bring up the got matcha.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you know, speaking of routines and staying healthy on the road.
Yeah.
It's, you know, easy to get in the routine of, I'll have a couple drinks to fall asleep or, you know, and then drink a ton of coffee to wake up. So I was drinking a lot of coffee and, you know, that whole routine is not good. Nothing about that is a good thing. But drinking a ton of water is really good when you travel. So I drink so much water. In fact, as soon as we land, I always make the driver bring me to a gas station before anything.
Get a bottle.
Jugs. No, I buy like jugs and jugs in my hotel room. I mean, I'll drink at least one of those as soon as I get in. Like I drink a lot of water. So that's been good. And matcha tea. So I'm not a tea person, never liked tea. I always thought tea is for when you're sick and ew. And I was at a farmer's market in California and I ran to Rebecca from Got Matcha. And first of all, she's just amazing and just bright and vibrant. And I liked her right away. And I was like, I'll try one of these samples thinking I was going to hate it. But I was like, I walked away with it. And then I was like, I stopped and I was like, wait, I'm going to walk back. I can't believe I actually like this.
Yeah.
And so I got hooked on that. And it has been amazing because it just doesn't give you the jitters and anxiety that coffee just made me a little strung out, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know, I feel so focused and just so much cleaner on this. And I drink it daily, and I have to have it with me. I travel with it. And yeah. And I just saw her the other day, and I'm trying this new one now. I have it right here, actually. This is a mint matcha, but they have flavored ones, you know,
Yeah.
like chai. That's the one I got hooked on. And this is really good too, because sometimes people don't like that grassy kind of taste.
Right.
But her matcha is such good quality. The straight matcha tastes delicious to me. It doesn't taste bad at all. So I love it.
So I got some of those shots from her, the immunity shots and all that
Yeah.
with the chaga mushrooms. And I was like, oh, these are good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
It's awesome. Yeah. And and she also just gave me a bunch of samples of like these, like she calls them vegan burgers. I'm not vegan, but it's healthy, and to be refrigerated or anything like that. And it's just got all these veggies in it, and they're like a cracker really. But it's got tons of protein in it and fresh veggies in it. And so it's just such a good alternative to those like granola bars that just, you know, power bars, things like that protein bars and stuff. It's just crap. And it makes you, as soon as I finish eating it, I'm like, ugh, why did I do that every time? But then it's like, sometimes you're desperate. It's either like that or like chips or beef jerky when you're like gas station living, you know. It's hard to stay healthy, so you have to kind of pre-plan. I don't pre-plan a lot of my food, but I'm going to try to get better at that. Our old bass player, Cher, her whole suitcase would be food. She wouldn't even have any clothes. Wear like one outfit. Her whole suitcase would be healthy food to, you know, eat. So it's challenging. It's really hard, especially you get in late. All the restaurants are closed. So you don't have options a lot of times.
You go to the little hotel curio, you know, off to the side by the check-in desk. You're like, oh, fuck. Cookies, donuts, chips,
and gas stations. That's been like the majority of my life. So yeah, it's hard. So it's important to I eat as many fruits and vegetables as I can when I am given the opportunity.
I always I don't want to get on the kick, but you know, when a bottle of water costs more than the Coke, and you're like, hold on, that's water.
Oh yeah, I know.
You know, but they just want you to keep drinking the Coke, you know.
Right. McDonald's is the cheapest food you can get. Like same kind of thing, right?
It's $1 for any size Coke, but like $3.50 for a bottle of water.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh? Yeah, I don't want to get into that.
I'm with you on that.
No. I don't think McDonald's is going to be sponsoring this show anytime soon, so I'm okay.
Yeah, I think we're safe.
You know, how many guitars do you own, and how many guitars do you travel with? I'm looking at 4 right now going.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. How many do I own? I don't have as many. I don't have enough. Let's just start by saying
that's how I sound with cowboy boots, but go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, we got to talk about that later too. I got a little cowboy boot collection. I actually sold my horse. I was really big into horseback riding and was going to be an equestrian, and I was big in hunter jumper eventing and stuff. And then I rock shows, when I started getting into guitar, rock shows are like late nights, Saturday nights, or like early morning Sundays. So I'd be like rolling out of the club with packing up my gear, loading back into the rehearsal space at 4 a.m. and then having to be at the horse show at like 6 a.m. the next, you know. And so it wasn't working out. I ended up selling my horse for my first custom flying V.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So anyways, we'll talk about cowboy boots after. But no, I probably have about 30 something guitars now. But a lot of them I don't play. You know, I like to collect and stuff. A lot of them I should sell and get different ones, that because, you know, as you grow, your tastes change and things like that. But a lot of them are just sentimental and special to me. But I travel with, I only really travel with like 2 max, because we do a lot of fly dates, and I usually just have like a double guitar case that I check, or I just carry on one, and then when I get to the show, I have them backline some spares, you know, Les Pauls and stuff like that.
So I know very little about guitars, but you have that mirrored V, right? Yeah. And then what is it? Do you have an acoustic, or is it another?
I have an acoustic.
Electric.
Yep, I got a couple of those custom Vs. I love those. I got Jackson Randy Rhoads Flying Vs are great. I got into that, playing that guitar because well, somebody I looked up to when I started was playing that guitar. Number one. Number two, Randy Rhoads. And number three, I practiced so much when I started playing that I got like a carpal tunnel tendonitis thing. And I couldn't play for a whole year. It was really devastating. I was very depressed. And but then I realized that V, one leg is longer and larger than the other. It's not like an equal V.
Yeah.
Gibson V. So it's weighted so that instead of the guitar being like low down here and your wrist being like this, it's more up like this. So it's just way better ergonomically for your hand. So I really got into those guitars, and so I love those. And I love Les Pauls, like this one right here.
Yeah, I know. I see that.
You have to just have a Strat because you need to have some single coils for your arsenal just to be well-rounded in case you get a gig and you need a different sound.
You don't need, but yeah, it's nice to have.
Yeah. And so, yeah, and I got a whole bunch of other ones.
You literally sound like me when I talk about my cowboy boots. My wife's like, you haven't worn those yet. I go, yeah, but I need time to break them in. So, yeah.
And we were talking, like my mom, poor thing, like, I moved out of her house a very long time ago, and I still have more than half of my guitar collection there. And she's like, when are we going to
how's this work?
Clear out your section of the basement? When can I move these? Can I sell them? You don't play them ever.
You're like, no.
Like, absolutely not. No.
I have some I have some Stingrays, some Alligator, some Pirarucu down in the garage that I haven't worn yet. My wife's like,
yep,
let's eBay these things. And I'm like, no.
No.
At some point I'll use them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I have shoes, for the record, too, that are just beautiful, that are so high and uncomfortable I will never wear, but I love the way they look in my closet. That's it. And it gives me so much joy to just open the closet and see them glittering there. And that's good enough. So yeah.
That's good enough.
You keep your shoes in your closet, your boots, whatever. Mm-hmm.
Oh man. You got some issues.
Yeah, I know.
But I wonder if that's a traveling issue, because I'm the same. Like when I'm out traveling, I see things and I buy it and I bring it home. I'm like, maybe I should have bought that. But at the time,
you buy a lot because you're like, oh, well, I'm in.
You never see it. Yeah.
Argentina, and these shoes are special Argentinian, whatever, leather, and then what's so funny is we travel all the time. We can only take a suitcase full of things, and I'm always overweight with my stuff. I can't have that, but I try. But also mine's overweight because I put my pedals and stuff in there, so I have that extra to travel with on top of what I really want to bring. But we can never bring more than the essentials, so I never really get to bring all my fun, cool things because I just need the real comfortable things that I'm actually going to be living in. So it's like a lot of stuff doesn't get used, but it is sure fun to buy.
My wife's in Nashville as we speak, and I helped her pack. I'm like, you're going for 4 days, honey. Like,
we need options. Women need options.
I traveled. So I work at the rodeo in Vegas. I'm gone for 16 days. It's a 10-day show, and I'm there 4 days early, 2 days after, and all that. And I'm in one suitcase, but I know how to pack, right? And I'm like, okay, no, I'll have my shirts and an extra bag for my boots, but. She's like, I go, how many bags would you need if you had to go for 16 days? And she's like, oh,
yeah,
no idea.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I'll be out for months sometimes. And it's like, how do I pick, and even when I do bring options, I wear the same shirt every day. Basically. Yeah. It's like, you just know what
See, I can't do that.
Yeah.
That's the only negative. I have to wear a different shirt every day.
You do? Why?
Yeah. Well, for one, I smell. Right. So, I mean, I'm a smelly boy, but I work for a
play in a rock band. That doesn't matter.
I work for a clothing company. So they're like, they give me free shirts. So it's not a matter of the cost. It's just a matter of I got to bring 16 different shirts. It's like,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's tough to deal with. I can't imagine having to wear a different shirt every day for 16 days straight.
Yeah.
That's challenging. Huh. Okay. Sounds like you have some issues too.
Yeah. My issue is my wife goes, no more jeans, no more blue plaid shirts, and no more cowboy boots. We're fine. I'm like,
that's like if somebody told me no more black and no more leather, I'd be like, I got nothing.
what do you want? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because when we work at the rodeo, the company I work for is awesome. They give us a free shirt for, and then, is it 4 or 5 pairs of jeans? I think it's 5 pairs of jeans. And then you get a free pair of boots every year. So every year I've been getting.
I apply for this job?
No.
I'm just kidding.
No, we bring in 105 people to help us work. We work at 3 different locations, and we have people that come, and so like they have like normal jobs, but they this is their 2-week vacation, and then we pay them, and then we give them all this free food and free clothes and all that. So yeah. And it's Vegas, so
right, fun, yeah.
For me, not so much, but yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
Vegas.
cool.
What is the hardest part about what you do?
Probably keeping up good energy when you travel and stuff like that, when you are exhausted and you don't feel good, or you're sick on the road or something, and the show must go on, and just trying to be like happy and excited and talking to people. I'm a pretty positive person, so I love to be upbeat and stuff, but sometimes when you are like just on no sleep for 3 days and just worn out, it is hard to be like hi and really enthusiastic. But that can, I think maybe just the worn out part of the traveling side can be hard. And when you feel like just gross because you're like, I haven't been able to work out, I haven't been able to
I'm eating crap food. Yeah,
your body, you just don't feel that good. I think that's probably the biggest challenge, but honestly, it doesn't really challenge me, because at the end of the day, I just have to think about, but look what I get to do. This is my work. This is like, I'm so grateful for every moment. So I can't get down about it.
I was going to bring this up. I saw you just were in Montana, and it was a little warm that day.
Yeah, I remember that.
but you got it. Let me, as a fan, you know how many people you were probably blinding with that mirrored V?
I know, it's so cool.
You were probably cooking people. You're like, oh, that guy smirked at me.
Oh, I know, that's so true.
Use it as a magnifying glass.
That happened too.
People are like, ah.
Yeah, it's like a bug zapper. I can keep the bugs away with that. Yeah.
Exactly. Because I saw you, and we've all had those. I mean, I worked a rodeo in Colorado. It was 104, and I'm in jeans, cowboy boots, and a long sleeve shirt because that's what I have to wear. I'm like,
yeah.
But what's it like? Have you played in the rain?
Yeah, I like playing in the rain. I think it feels good because you're always sweating anyways, and it's fun and it looks cool. And
how come you guys don't get electrocuted?
Well, you can, yeah. So if there's a risk of that, we don't play, or they postpone the show. And I usually will cover my pedals with like a clear plastic or something.
Okay.
Have something like that, because that can't. It's hard to play though. I mean, it's hard when your hands are soaking wet, but it's also just fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun. I don't know. I mean, I go for walks, and as soon as it rains, I'm like, I'm in it. I like to go out in the rain. So it's fun, but it's also annoying because you can't put on your best show generally. I can't really. I don't think I've ever played my best show in the rain. That's for sure. Yeah.
But you've had a lot of fun doing it. Yeah. I get you.
Yeah.
Another question I'll tell you why in a second. Can you say the word large?
Large.
Now, what happened to your Boston accent?
I know, lodge.
Lodge.
Really wicked lodge.
I have a store down in San Diego where I was at yesterday, and she's from Boston, but she hasn't been there in 20 plus years. So she orders 1 small, 2 mediums, 2 larges, 3 extra large. And I'm like,
love the Boston accent. I kind of wish I had more of one. I mean, I can put it on, but I think I don't, because my parents aren't originally from there. So growing up, I didn't hear them with an accent.
Yeah.
So but I think that's my favorite accent for sure.
Because she's pretty good except for the R's.
Yeah.
A quarter, a garage,
Yeah.
Every once in a while it comes out like, speak English.
Yep. Park the car and have it yard. Yeah.
But it's all true. I mean, it's kind of kind of bizarre. How have you ever been over to the Burbank Equestrian Center?
I have, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's very nice.
Do you ever just get a horse and ride it?
I have.
Okay.
I don't do it nearly enough, but yeah, I do. And I like to do trail rides. I do that when I travel too. I like to just, you can't always really ride, but you can hop on a trail ride when you're out sometimes. And
I do the same thing. I was just up in Hawaii, and I have COVID was terrible for Hawaii. because
Yes,
as an island, they shut down, and a lot of their tourism dollars came from Japan, and Japan was shut down. So I had 3 stores close up, but I've done trail rides over there, and it's awesome.
have you been to Kualoa Ranch?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Trailer. It's like where they filmed Jurassic Park and all that.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just there.
Oh yeah, that's so fun.
And then on down south by Lahui on Kauai, they do beach rides.
Oh, cool.
And they have a rodeo rink there. And
Oh.
so we actually sponsor the rodeo there on July 4th.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I've been to Kauai, but I haven't done the riding there. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So on the beach, it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
And you can do it on the beach up north in like Half Moon Bay, just so you know.
Yeah. I've done it in New England on the beach.
Yeah. So it's a different experience.
Yeah. Yeah, it is fun. I've gone swimming with the horses. Have you done that?
No.
Oh, that's a trip. When they can't touch and it feels like you're flying and they're just like, yes, I've gone swimming.
Where? Like, where do you?
that was back in New England in a lake.
Okay.
Ocean, yeah, in a lake, and yeah, it was a big trail ride. And then they were like, you can go swimming. And we were bareback, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it's like you can go swimming. The horses, they like to swim, and I was like, really? And yeah,
I've never heard of that.
It was fun, really, really fun. A little scary because you're like,
that's what I'm thinking. I'm like,
fall off and get kicked or something because they're like, that's a little scary, but it was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if the horses are used to it. It's part of the.
Right. Yeah.
I wouldn't want to go on a horse the first time it experiences that.
No.
You have to get it used to just
I think
swimming.
we'll probably see which horses like it and want to
Yeah.
go in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking that everyone, you made me think, like, I'm sitting there going, would I do that? I don't know if I do that. Maybe. I'm not that good of a rider, but pretty good.
Yeah.
But you mentioned you're trying to get some time with your bass player to write some songs and all that. How much new music is Dixon as a group writing? I mean, you've got the big hits, but
yeah, it's been a slow process, just again because nobody lives near each other.
Yeah.
So we don't really like get together and rehearse and write and jam and stuff like that much. So we have to really pre-plan those things. So it's coming along slow. We have a single that should be coming out, I don't know, I think by the end of, well, I guess we're at the end of the month. So hopefully like by mid-October. And I don't know, I'm kind of writing all the time. So, it's just a matter of, we all kind of write individually, but
yeah,
it's hard to kind of get together and write together. But
how hard? So you traveled with with Sharon and the other lead singer, Jen, right?
Janet, yes.
Yeah. And that now you have how hard is it getting used to everybody's kind of little picadillos, like Lorraine not wanting to talk and
I love the whole band is awesome. I feel like we're all sisters. I love them all so much. So yeah, everybody's has their own quirks.
Yeah.
Quirky, but it's also what you love about them. It's like that. Oh, that's her thing. That's what she does. Yeah. So no, it's fun. It's fun. I like getting to know everybody's idiosyncrasies. That's what makes people unique.
Okay, one last question then. How do you balance your work-life balance? Like, I mean, the loved ones, birthdays, anniversaries,
Well, I'm single.
Yeah.
So it's not easy. It's not easy. But well, so you have to find somebody, I think, that for as far as a relationship goes, that gets it and is comfortable, and you have to have trust in a relationship, because if you don't have that, it will never work. Because if
I do.
Your wife's a natural, you have to trust her. You can't be just worried the whole time. And I've dated people like that, and it is miserable.
Yeah.
And can't do that. So by default, I end up dating a lot of musicians because they get it for the most part, but some of them still don't. But,
I was gonna say,
but that's challenging. But I think it's important to have somebody that has their own life, so they can respect that you have your own life. And but if there's a special event or something, you can black out dates so you don't do a concert, miss your best friend's wedding or something like that. I mean,
right.
It is possible to make plans, even though I'm not good at it, but but I make the effort to go home and see my family all the time. They live on the East Coast and I'm in California.
Yeah.
But anytime we have a show, before I fly home, if I'm anywhere near the East Coast, I'll fly home and stop in and see them. And so you just have to make the extra effort, which means more travel than we already do, but it's worth it, but that's okay. Yeah.
Because I have to do the same thing. Like, the rodeo that happens the first 2 weeks of December. My oldest daughter's birthday is December 15th. So every once in a while it'll cross over. So, I can't.
And you know what? If you have to move, I've moved Thanksgiving,
Yeah. We have to.
You just move it, it's just a holiday. Put it on a different day that works for you.
A Tuesday Thanksgiving I've had. Yeah.
Yeah. I've had, I even had a later Christmas once. Yeah.
You bet. Yeah.
So you make it work.
Well, I think that's the key thing is, being present when you're there.
Totally. That's huge. Yes.
I always tell people, I go, I'm more present with my wife, even though I'm gone so much, but when I'm home, and like we're going on date nights, we're going for a skate, we'll go down, for a beach. And whereas, as when you work in an office, you said you come home, you're like, ugh, I don't want to be here anymore. And I just turn on the TV, and if I watch a football game, how present am I anyway? So.
Right. No, I think that is huge. I try to be present in every aspect, in every minute of my day. If I'm working out, I'm not talking with a friend. I hate working out with people. I like to go get it and get it done. Okay. Or if I'm emailing, like that's what I'm doing. I'm there. If I'm working on guitar, I'm working on guitar. If I'm with friends, I'm there with friends. I'm not on my phone the whole time. Like, being present in all aspects of life, I think is super
helps. I agree. So, what's the best way for my listeners to follow what you have coming up?
Okay, well, you can go to brittlightning.com or vixenofficial.com for tour dates. My Instagram is @brittlightning. That's
awesome.
Social media that I'm mostly on. And and I'll just post all the updates there.
What's your Got Matcha code?
Oh yeah, Britt 10 for 10% off, and I highly recommend it. It will change your life.
Two T's, right?
Yes, Britt, BRITT with 2 T's, number 10. And then I also help run Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, and we have a bunch of camps, and it's an amazing experience. And you can check that out at rockcamp.com.
How cool is that, though? I mean, is it everything that it seems like it would be?
It is. Yeah, it's a rock camp. It's mostly for adults, but we have teenagers too. And it's a 4-day experience we do in different cities. So this is another aspect of my traveling for work. More traveling, but we'll do Vegas, we'll do New York, LA, and everywhere. And it's 4 days, and you get to jam with a rock star mentor that mentors your band and gets you prepared to jam with your heroes, and they'll be themed. Like we had Joe Perry come down to jam.
That's so cool.
Joe Perry and Steven Tyler, metal camps with like Dave Mustaine, Nico McBrain from Iron Maiden. We have one with Ace Frehley coming up, Chuck Leavell from the Rolling Stones, so they're super fun.
So do you have to be, are most of the people that go musicians, like hobbyist musicians?
More so hobbyists, but we have people that learn guitar during COVID and have never played outside their living room. And then we have people that are badass tribute band members.
Yeah.
So all different.
Everything. Okay.
Yeah.
Cause I mean, I just want to go to I can't play a lick. That is not a gene I have in my body. I've tried. I'm terrible. Well, so I broke this finger, doesn't work anymore. So my fret finger.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was Steve, one of my guitarists. Oh, Django only had a couple fingers. I'm like, quiet.
Yeah, Tony Iommi, his fingertips got all.
Yeah.
You can make it work. You can play in drop D where you only have to use this one finger to fret chords.
I wanted to get I could do the slide, right? Just get the bottle and just slide guitar.
So don't make excuses. You can play guitar.
I can't. I don't have it. I just don't. I don't have the whole thing. That's why I appreciate it. So, and Vixen's got some tour dates coming up. You've got.
Yep, we got a busy October, and then we kind of slow down till the holidays and stuff. And then next year we'll be announcing a lot of dates, and it's gonna be great. But,
and you're putting that on your social too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be posted everywhere. Yeah. But
perfect.
Coming up in October, I'm doing a benefit in Cincinnati. I think that's open to the public. I'm doing that's beginning of October 2nd, and then I'm doing Vixen is playing in Oklahoma and Denver and Vegas, and then Kiss Cruise. Probably missing a couple things, but yeah. that's
Have
sort of
you been to Red Rocks?
I have never even seen a concert there. No.
You should. You can jog there in the morning, up and down the stairs, and it's open to the public. You should check that out.
Oh, I like that.
Even if you can't go, it's amazing.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
That's a good tip.
I heard you say you going to Denver, so I was like,
It's a good idea. Maybe I'll check that out.
yeah.
I like that idea.
If
Thank you.
if I see a post,
You'll know it's from you.
I'll know
Yes.
I'll know what happened.
Take your advice. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me on your limited day off. I really appreciate it. It's
thank you for having me.
a blast getting to know you.
Yeah, likewise.
And then I'm sure we'll run into each other. Maybe at a farmer's market with Rebecca sometime.
Yeah, yeah. Or maybe I'll come to a rodeo.
Well, yeah, hit me up for the boots. I'm good with that. Yeah. Yeah. We have some rocker boots, so you can.
Okay. All right. I'll have to check out your inventory there.
There you go. Sounds great. Thanks again for the time, though.
Thank you so much. Take
Thanks,
care.
Brett.
Bye.